thank you, computer voice, because this session is now being recorded, because the plan is that all our events are recorded and uploaded to our YouTube channel at PsychologyAtWork.Blog. It's not very original, but we're concise. YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, it's the same stuff. So next time you have trouble sleeping, please visit our YouTube channel. It should really help with putting you to sleep, and it's cheaper than sleeping apps. So yeah, but without further ado, let me just quickly share my screen. Can everybody see the screen, the Mentimeter? Great. So with us,
calm down, please.
Oh, they're just excited about the meeting. I'm sure they are. So, and so if you can go to mentee.com and type in this code, or I'll just copy this link across. Chat. And once you're in, if you can press the little heart in the bottom left, because, you know, you can't have too much love in this world. Perfect. People logging in. So we'll have a couple of questions on Menti, so we can get everybody's participation. And then we'll hand over to Hardeep, and she'll do all the proper intro and what to expect from the program. So first and foremost, no, previous slide. What brought you here? So why did you join the mentorship program? Just anything. If you can just type in. I want to give back because job rejection and painful and I need help. That's self-awareness right there. Brilliant. First step. And it's true. Rejection hurts. Want to get a career directly related to Occ? Absolutely. Something wonderful with my mentee. I'm addicted to mentoring. I'm sure there's worse addictions to have. New to IO, but I have experience in psychometrics. Fantastic. That's pretty much bread and butter of a lot of occupational psychology, because there's always money in it. Because when there's a recession, lots of applicants per place, needs used in selection. When there's good money in the economy, lots of money for development. Psychometrics again. It's quite a resilient little industry. Connecting with people, looking to get connected. COVID-induced career change. Well, hopefully you're taking care of yourself during this change, and hopefully we can make it a little bit easier. Nikita asked me, whoever this is, thank you for attending. Networking, career development. I want to live in London. Fantastic. There's a lot of jobs in London, but you do need sponsorship for visa if you're moving in because of Brexit. Anyways, I'll keep politics out of it. But basically, apply to big companies which have sponsorship visa departments. It makes it a lot easier than applying to smaller ones. Bigger companies don't care because what they care about is the talents you can bring. Anyways, great to see so much diversity and curiosity. And now, next question. Is there anything in particular that you would like to develop as part of this program? Just anything. Could be psychometrics, could be coaching, development, better understanding of the job market. Because this program is about you. We have the platform, connections, network, and can bring in speakers. But if we don't know what you want, we'll just bombard you with stuff we think you need. And that sometimes might be right, sometimes not so much. And would anybody like to unmute themselves to share with us what they want to develop as part of the program? You feel free to just unmute yourself and jump in. In no particular order. Angus, what would you like to develop as part of the program?
That's a very good question, Nikita.
Oh, thank you very much.
And I will therefore buy some time with that. For me, it's a mixture of things, really. I've recently completed a master's in occupational and business psychology. I currently work in learning and development. So it's a bit around, to be honest, getting a deeper understanding of what the difference is between Occ Psych and learning and development, and where there's overlap and where there's not, and career progression perhaps more in a OD sort of environment. But equally, I guess from the masters, it also kind of highlighted to me that there are a number of different areas of OD, so it's trying to get a better understanding of what they all are and kind of how they fit together. And yeah, I guess also potentially longer term, I'm currently employed. I kind of like the idea of being self-employed at some point. So potentially kind of looking at that side of things. So
Excellent.
Nothing too concise, Nikita, just everything.
That sounded really concise to me, to be honest. But just anybody on this call is already self-employed? Show of hands. Anybody considering being self-employed? Great. So I really suggest you connect. Just saying, even now by chat, having the chat. And we will create a group for self-employed as well as a group for mentors. And I noticed a few of you said that about psychometrics. We're also currently creating a 4-week course, probably around spring next year. And we are partnering with several psychometric publishers to offer really cut price qualifications and any tools that you want to get qualified just for the members of this program. So, and it should provide a really nice choice of different psychometrics. So we'll keep you posted about that. But there is plan for things like this to kind of keep going and having this skill set. And I'm just really curious as far as just the last 2 questions. So first one is, right, just kind of trying to get an understanding of how many mentees and mentors are there on the call. So if you're a mentee, if you can click mentor, mentee, should have added the 3rd option. Great. Nice. So we have both present. And last but not least, how many years of experience do you have in Occ Psych? So 5 to 2 years.
Nikita, did you do this in purpose? Where's 14?
Yeah, you're missing 10 to 20.
Oh yeah, I missed it. Well, your attention to detail is better than mine. I should have added like the 3rd options. Yeah, but basically just wanted to illustrate that we have a lot of experience. And the idea is between it, it's not just about this calls. We really encourage you, to connect on LinkedIn, to have chats, to have the conversations between your mentors and mentees. Because even in this room, we have more experience than one can possibly gather in their lifetime. So just being conscious of that, what's present, to make those connections, to have those conversations. And yeah, and last but not least, where are you based right now? So we had Lisbon, we had Finland, London town, Nottingham, lovely at this time of year, Madrid, Finland, Brighton, Leeds. Nice. So we have diversity of locations, we have diversity of experiences, we have people who have transitioned into Occ Psych from 2nd career, so you have that experience in your other industries you have gained. And all the next 9 months with the one-to-one mentoring, as well as with the group sessions, all we aim to do is for us to learn from one another, to support one another as best as we can, because it makes it fun to do the things together and exchange our ideas and exchange our thoughts as fellow professionals and colleagues. So on that note, I would like to hand over to my wonderful colleague, Hardeep.
Thank you, Nikita. So hi, everybody. Lovely to be connected with you today. So just hopefully you can all see my slide.
Oh, you just need to click share your slides once, because it was mine.
Apology. So. Okay, we should be good to go. Fantastic. So just wanted to quickly introduce ourselves. So I'm going to reach out to a couple of my colleagues that are on the call today. So reflecting back, we are now in our 3rd year of this program. The 4 of us, originally myself, Nikita, David and Simon, came together, completely different, a love for occupational psychology, business psychology, but working in very different areas. David and Simon from an academic perspective, myself from a corporate environment, and Nikita running his own business. So we came from kind of 4 different areas, and our passion for psychology and wanting to help people to you know, just really get their career started, and understanding some of the challenges that we've all had along the way. That's what kind of drew us together to create this program. So and then as we've progressed with the program and it's got a lot bigger than we'd ever anticipated, we've then started to work with other people. So Amanda, who you met earlier in a lovely Lisbon, and a couple of others who we've also been working with as well that are on the call today. So as I say, I'm Hardeep. My background, done about 18 years as an occupational psychologist. I haven't actually worked as anything else. That is what I did at university, and my master's and my chartership, and then I've been mainly working in internally as in learning and development, talent development. I'm currently a group head of talent development for a financial services organisation. So most of my experience has been internally within organisations. So I'm going to hand over to David, if that's okay, just to introduce himself.
Hi, Hardeep. I was just expecting you to introduce me and my whole career, and no, I'm only joking. Yeah, so I'm David Biggs. I used to run an MSc in occupational psychology, and then I moved to the sort of BPS where I used to accredit all the MScs in occupational psychology. A role I've only just given that up actually about 4 or 5 months ago. So I'm a consultant. And an academic, so my full-time job now is back in academia, but I run my own little consultancy doing child status and things like that. So that's me.
Fantastic. And Simon, please.
Yeah, thanks, Hardeep. So my background, I was actually one of David's former students on his MSc, and then liked him so much I got him to do my PhD as well as a supervisor. Moved into consultancy in 2015 and joined a company called PCL, a Psychological Consultancy Limited, where I work as their principal research psychologist and have done for over seven and a half years now. So that's me.
Fantastic. We also have Eloise and Matt and Amanda, so it'd be great if you guys could say hi too. Don't know if we have Simon, the other Simon.
Hi everyone. Go on, Eloise, you go first.
I'm Eloise. I've just finished doing my master's in occupational psychology at the University of Worcester, but I'm taking a bit of a detour. I'm doing social research for the civil service at the moment. So yeah, I look forward to meeting some of you.
Fantastic. Amanda in lovely Lisbon.
I'm also finished my master in, I don't know if you're hearing me well, but I'm also finished, as Andrew was saying, I also finished my master in occupational psychology this year. So now I'm working here in Lisbon, and I'm with this lovely team working every day, every week, with all the events and all the things that we are organizing for all people that are passionate about this kind of thing. So that's me. You can go back.
Okay, fantastic. Matt?
Yeah, hi everyone, my name's Matt. I graduated from university from my master's degree in occupational psychology last year, and since then I've been working as a graduate operations consultant for a company called Arup, specializing in people and organizations. So I work a lot on sort of like transformation projects and leadership development and stuff like that. And I'm really excited to be involved in this initiative and offer some help where I can. I might talk about it a little bit at the end, but I'm going to basically be doing a bit of a side project on the Emerging Occ Psych alongside the Emerging Occ Psych Initiative.
Fantastic, thank you. I don't know if we've got Simon on the call. The other Simon?
I don't think so. He might be stuck in traffic. So we have another Simon on the call, Simon Gander, and he's absolutely lovely and fantastic. And I'm sure you're going to meet them in quite a few of the employability events as well. Yeah, fantastic. Thank you, Nikita. So that's us. We work together very frequently, and like I say, the program has evolved into quite an established program. Hopefully you'll experience that 3 years into the program. But as I say, we've all come from different areas, but we've got a very collective and common goal between us. So for the program today, just wanted to, oh, sorry. There we go. So we're going to give you a bit of an outline of the program. Going to put you back to Simon. He's going to share some of the data from the previous program, and then we've just got some top tips around mentoring, and just wanted to clarify what the benefits are, and just to kind of give you some guidance around being a mentor and a mentee. I fully appreciate some of you have probably done being a mentor or being a mentee either once or a number of times. It is an amazing development opportunity if you get that, both as a mentor and a mentee, but we just wanted to kind of get a bit of a baseline and share some of our thinking with you, if that's okay. Okay. Just before we go into that, just Nikita mentioned the 9-month program. So most of you are paired up already, but if you haven't, I'm sure you'll get confirmation very, very soon. So we're all ready to go ahead and launch the program. And I say we, but us as a working group, we will absolutely connect with you and your mentee in December. By then, hopefully, and I know we're also busy just before Christmas, but you may have had an opportunity to have a one-to-one session, your first session at least with your mentor, or at least a quick check-in to say hi. So we'd like to check in with you before the year's out. You may not be happy with your mentor or your mentee, or you might not have that click, which is absolutely fine. That happens. Getting the chemistry right is really important. So it's really important that we check back in with you. And then we have a very action-packed agenda full of workshops, sharing resources, formal and informal network opportunities for you. And we continue to post on YouTube, LinkedIn, etc. as well. And then we would bring the program to a bit of a close come August. And in true Occ Psych fashion, we would look to evaluate through surveys and interviews, etc. And that brings me nicely on to some evaluation work that Simon has done. Sorry, Simon, we can't hear you. You're on mute, Simon.
Oh, I've got two mutes on going, and I had one off and not the other one. Yeah, so thanks, Hardeep. Yeah, so to give you a bit of background, this is data taken from the second cohort of the Emerging Occ Psychs Initiative. If you are a mentee on the call, you would have recognised that we asked you quite a lot of additional questions during the application process. These are what those questions were relating to. So there are 3 kind of broad variables: career planning confidence, the self-esteem scale, and perceived employability. The CPC has 6 factors that are listed there. So again, we weren't expecting improvements across the whole board, but hopefully across some of those at least. But obviously our primary focus was on perceived employability, and hopefully that we're hoping the mentees would improve on that. We gave that those 3 variables in the application stage, and then we gave those same items, those same variables, to the same participants at the end of the mentoring process. So over the course of the summer we've just had, and we were comparing a longitudinal data analysis to see if there were actually improvements across the board. So we can see if there were. We go for the next slide, Hardy. Great. So the findings. The first one would be the career planning confidence scale. So if you can click next again, please, Hardy. This is what we're seeing. So Generally speaking, improvements. If the cell is coloured green, it will show that there was an improvement. The significance column on the far right-hand side will show if that improvement was statistically significant or not. So the ones in particular we're seeing: information-seeking confidence, self-assessment confidence, and confidence in implementing your decisions. So those are all increased significantly for the mentees who completed both questionnaires. And that was just great to see. We're really happy with that. Moving on to the next slide, the self-esteem scale. So again, single item, nice and simple. We did some previous research into the mentoring initiatives and found that self-esteem is actually something that can and has been targeted and improved by mentoring initiatives. So we're just curious, really. This was just something I just threw in there. It was only one item to see if that was improved. So if you could do the next slide, please, Hardeep, we'll see if that was the case. And it was. So we had nearly a quarter improvement on the scale there. So, and obviously that was statistically significant as well. So that was kind of an unexpected finding until I actually looked at the literature behind mentoring initiatives, but actually it's good replication because that is something that other initiatives have found. And it was a pretty, quite a big improvement across the 9 months. So again, really great to see. And then the final variable, if you can move to the next slide, please, was the perceived employability. So this was our kind of primary focus. Gives a kind of breakdown into what these areas we're actually looking at across the five items, and to see if the average improved overall between the first time and the second time. And we can actually see what the results are if we look at the next slide. There we go. Actually a pretty big improvement of over a third between time 1 in this time last year and time 2 over the course of the summer, reported by the mentees who undertook the initiative. So really great to see these findings. These are nice, solid statistics. They're great significance, and we're hoping to replicate that success with the next cohort of the mentees for the 3rd year. And that's a summary. So I think if I hand back to Hardeep now, we can continue to look at the actual framework of the initiative.
Okay, thank you, Simon. So just a couple of points that we wanted to touch on today, if that's okay. So we pulled these slides together because actually we've had quite a few conversations with different mentors and mentees that have been on the program. So as I say, we just want to make sure that we can help you and support you along the way, and also just kind of highlight what our expectations are on you being a mentor and a mentee. So I think one of the big pieces that we always like to share is people being very clear what's the difference between being mentored, being coached, or being super sponsored. People get them quite interestingly, they seem to get them quite easily mixed up. So for us, and as I say, some of our mentors are very, very clear about this. Others are coming in new to the program. So I hope it's okay to kind of refresh on this. So as you can see, if someone is mentoring you, it generally does tend to be somebody who is more experienced than you. They will generally tend to draw on their own knowledge and their own experiences to help you to work on your own areas around development, building your strengths further, etc. This is quite different from being coached. Some of us on the call today are professional coaches, or we do a lot of coaching within our work and our roles. And I think the thing is, when someone is being coached, that person is not necessarily sharing their experience and their suggestions and what they've learned and what they would do. They are generally not doing that if they are doing pure coaching. So I think it's quite important. We have had a few people say that it's quite interesting because I felt there were times that my mentor was coaching me. And yes, that will happen. That can sometimes be an individual style. But I also think it's quite important that you, if you feel that you're being coached more than mentored, then it's probably an opportunity to flag that. The way that we set the mentoring piece up originally was actually most of the mentors are experienced, they are very knowledgeable in their space. So this is your opportunity as somebody who's coming through the emerging program to draw on somebody's experience and their knowledge. So that's what we'd really like you to get out of that mentoring relationship. Okay, happy to take any comments or thoughts as we go through. Sorry, I forgot to say. And with this slide again, we're going to send these slides over to you. Just wanted to point out the immense amount of proven benefits to mentoring. Some of you are line managers, some of you run your own business, but actually we have seen already through the work that we've done in our own portfolios, in our own organizations, there is some huge benefits to when people are being mentored. Also, it is probably seen as one of the most powerful development initiatives that we have in many places as well. So I'm really pleased that we're able to offer that to you today. Again, just to recap, the difference between the mentor and the mentee roles. This slide is probably the one that we would encourage you to take some time to go through. Sometimes we have people a little bit unclear on who should be leading that relationship, who should be checking in, who should be driving the agenda, and actually who should be establishing the goals. I would always say, you know, some of you may or may not agree with me, but I would always say you as the mentee are there to, you're there to receive that level of knowledge and experience. So actually, and this is about you, this is about, you know, quite simply, this is your development. This is your, you know, your opportunity to get a platform into your working career as an Occ Psych. So take own it, you know, drive that forward, schedule those meetings, you know, share updates between your meetings as an example. You know, I've still got a mentor today, and it's my job to make sure that I drive that relationship. I set up the meetings, I agree the goals, something happens between one mentoring session to the next, and I share those insights with her. So again, I would say, please do own that relationship. This is someone that's taking the time to help you with your career. And the role of the mentor is to absolutely, they're there. It's just, they should feel challenged doing this. They genuinely should. It shouldn't be, it's not about, here, let me impart everything that I've done really, really well. This is an opportunity for them to reflect, for them to learn, and them to kind of bring it to life for you as well. Okay. Mentoring, this is again, if someone just sits there and tells you that they are the best person ever working in occupational psychology, you're not going to learn much from that. If they take the time to share some of their experiences, what worked, what didn't work, again, it's a confidential conversation. We will never hear the conversations. We wouldn't ask you about what you were talking about. We would just ask you for some general themes when we check in. But remember, this is a professional friendship. There should be a level of respect and a level of chemistry between you to be able to speak quite openly and to share those experiences. This isn't a supervisory role for chartership, that there's a different place and people for that. These people aren't necessarily, if you're you know, naively thinking, if I work with the mentor, I should be able to get my next job, I don't need to look for a role. That's not necessarily going to be what this program gives you either. They are there to, they might be able to help make connections for you. They might be able to share what they would have done differently. But actually, I think the key part is that you should obtain experience and learning from them. Okay. Couple of skills around being an effective mentor. As we go through the program, we will have different development workshops for both mentors and for mentees, which last year people found really, I say last year, but for this last cohort of the program, they found really useful. So we will have opportunities for you as a mentor and a mentee to be on workshops together. And then we will have different workshops for both mentors and mentees. I would always encourage you, no matter how experienced and no matter how, you know, established you are within your world of occupational psychology, we have had people say, actually, it was just a really good refresher, or it just helped me to see things differently. So I'd encourage you to use those programs that we will be putting in place. So yeah, just some key skills here. And again, wanted to share with you some of the common mentoring topics that we've had people work on over the last couple of programs. Interestingly, we don't have huge amounts of people trying to focus on how do I build my technical expertise, because the assumption is that you've done your masters, you might be already working. So for many people, it's how do I build my brand? That's a big one. How do I, navigate an organization? How do I deal with stakeholders? How do I manage my work-life balance, especially if I have gone into this as a second career? How do I navigate that field? So these are some of the common mentoring topics. I would really encourage you, before you have your first mentoring session, once you've had your pairing confirmed, before you have your first session, think about 2-3 topics that you want to work on with your mentor for the next 9 months. Yeah, I always say to people, try to make sure that they are meaty topics that you can really work through. So if you're somebody who's trying to break into the consultancy world, yeah, if you're somebody that's not getting that kind of not getting the right projects, not getting the right level of responsibility in your role, maybe there's something quite something that's probably quite sustainable, something that you can work on over the next 6 to 9 months would be good. Okay, sorry. And again, the stages of the relationship, this is amazing. This is a global program. We have people from so many different places, which we are really pleased to see. So, this can be done. It's been done for the last 3 years in via Zoom and Teams. But we would encourage you, if you can meet in person, you're both based in London or outside of London, why not meet up? It's a lovely way to have that mentoring relationship. So again, getting started, for you to be honest around what's your development areas, for you to think about what your common interests are, what your values are, how you like to work, what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and then slowly formalizing that partnership and building that relationship. There will be touch points throughout the program where we will be checking in around progress. We would encourage you to try and have a mentoring session, maybe 60 to 90 minutes long. Possibly our guidance would be 60 to 90 minutes long once a month. Yeah, you may choose to establish a structure the first Friday of every month, because that works for both of you via Zoom. Yeah, but I would encourage you to think about the timing and what works for both of you. Okay, and then so just some top tips. Again, you will receive the slides. So just wanted to share some of our top tips for you. I have mentioned a couple of these pieces, but I think the key part, one of the key ones for me, is just to maintain and respect that level of privacy. You could be paired with somebody who's very high profile and who has quite a following in terms of the Occ Psych world. They may speak to you quite openly and quite honestly. So again, just bearing in mind that professional integrity. And also, I think, just a personal observation, I am so surprised, kind of 18 years in, how many people I seem to meet again and again. So the world of occupational psychology is actually quite a small world still. It's a very progressive world, but it is still a small world. People know people. So I think, again, whether you're a mentor or a mentee, you're representing our profession. So maybe just a quick reminder on some of these areas. Okay, I hope that's okay. You may agree or disagree with some of the points, so I'm happy to be challenged and hear your thoughts. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Could I say something, Hardy? Yeah. Thank you for that presentation. I'm planning on being a mentor in this scheme, and if, for instance, I'm talking to my mentee about imposter phenomenon, for example, so I might share some of my unique examples that I've experienced individually or when I was a leader amongst my team, but also might point them to some research papers as well, because I am, you know, recently academic as well in some way.
Oh, sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can, thank you.
Okay. So I think, again, I think that's great. You sound like you've got various pieces going on. So I think for me, I think it's that contracting piece. I know that's a very coaching term, but I think that contracting piece is really important with the individual, if that answers your question.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, okay. Anyone else, any comments, any observations, any questions? I've just had someone message, so I'll read it out but not share their name. What do I do if I haven't got something to talk to my mentor about for the next 9 months? That is absolutely fine. Yeah, you don't need to drag it out. If your topics are finished and you're in the place that you've met the development goals that you had in mind, and actually you've done that in 5-6 months, that's absolutely fine. Don't feel that you need to continue just because you're on that program. And interestingly, we've had quite a few mentoring relationships continue outside of this program. So I think if you finish early, that's great, no pressure. But if you don't finish within the 9 months of this mentoring initiative, it may carry on. Some people, I think, Nikita, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there are a few people that have carried on that relationship for the last couple of years now.
Yeah, absolutely. Some people just stick together and they continue this relationship and conversations, and it's great. I mean, that's the key thing. We want to make a more connected world. This is one of the reasons our events are at 6 p.m. because we want people joining from the States, India, Europe, UK, and for you to connect with each other, because it's a fun industry. We're all passionate and geeky about this. So why not share our geekiness? And Adiz, hopefully I'm pronouncing the name correctly. Yeah, absolutely, it's not too late to join. This program is open. So we have this gold level, which just for events. So anybody can join events, and our events are open. So people will be signing up. There'll be new people, there'll be people from industry. So the idea is to help people connect and network. And also, yeah, we still have 1 or 2 mentors. If somebody just needs a mentor, just let us know, but this will be a bit more bespoke pairings and it will take a bit of time. So don't worry. If you're kind of gold member and you go, I'd really wish I have a mentor, just let us know. And if we can, we will provide. But yeah, if a friend wants to jump in, more than welcome. So yeah, any other questions for Hardy? Yeah, I think this was 15 seconds. When will be the next session? Ah, well, funny that. Doink. Can everybody see my screen? So this is the 3 sessions which are currently registered. And I'm just popping in the comments in the chat. A little, where's the chat? Chat, where did you go? Where did you go, chat? So 1 sec. I'm just trying to find my chat. Oh, here it is. So I'm just popping in everyone. Where is this everyone? Okay. So here's an Eventbrite link. So if you click on it and you click subscribe, all our events will be uploaded to it. The plan is to have one every month. And it will be all about employability. It will be connecting. The sessions are open. So even if you have colleagues or even undergrad students, or, maybe your daughter or son who are 16 thinking what to do, and they have nothing better to do with their time, which I really doubt, everybody is welcome to sign up to this events and have a chat. Yeah, because it is to connect and network. So these are the events. But what I want to know from you, what sort of events you might find useful. It can be also, maybe mentors want kind of a mentoring group sessions and all of that. Because we have 9 months, people. That's a lot of time. It will go by as quickly, but it is a lot of time. So if you can type in what events would be useful to you, and we will do best to satisfy those kind of events. Oh, thank you, Julia. And yeah, so hopefully see you at the next event. This event will be recorded. So in a couple of days' time, you can catch up on our YouTube channel on it. So yeah, job fair style event. Oh, we have something cheeky planned in January for that, but it's a bit tentative, probably realistically February. But we do plan to have an online job fair with consultancies and people sharing opportunities, etc. Top tips to mentor, how to get it right. We can only work together to get it right, but yes, there will be kind of a mentoring group. So the event for mentors for us to share, because as Hardeep mentioned, some of you might have already had mentorship experience. Some of you are new to this, so might as well share this and learn from each other. In-person networking. So yes, we will have them in London. They're called PsyPubs. It's slightly different, but it's events we host on a monthly basis. So you can just follow me on LinkedIn for it. But if you want to create your own psychology-related events wherever you are, we'd be happy to share experience and how to do it. So you want to create like little meetup groups wherever you are, be it Finland or Lisbon, happy to provide. Or maybe in Leeds. I always think a good psychology event should be in Leeds. Speed mentoring. Ooh, cheeky. I'm sure we can manage something there. How network ties into job seeking. Absolutely, because this is all relationships, man. And we have a recording on our YouTube channel called How to Use LinkedIn for Job Searching. And we do cover a little bit there. So might be worth checking out. So, any free tools you can use, like strength surveys? Oh, basically, if you want psychometrics, just let me know, because it's going to be part of the 4-week program. So hopefully you'll get access come winter to at least 4 or 5 different tools as part of this. And we'll have authors come in and share what assessments this is, and if you want to sign up to get qualified. Because one of the pet kind of, let's say I have a bee in my bonnet, that usually psychometric qualifications in UK only qualify in one tool. So we're pairing up in partnership with a few publishers and creating kind of like a meta qualification where you can pick and choose which tools you want, but there's a core module about how to use them, which is going to be coming your way. Anyway, anybody wants to unmute and say what they want to cover in any of the events? In no particular order. Sam. What would be useful for you?
Oh, is that with me, Nikita?
Yes,
hello.
Absolutely.
Oh, well, I can see it there already, but I'd love to learn more tips around how to be a great mentor. So that's something that is super helpful for me. I've just put a suggestion on there because something that I've been doing with leaders in organisation that's working really well is to set up a bit of a virtual fireside chat where we have perhaps an experienced leader in the business, and they pose the question around if I knew then what I know now, and have a bit of a Q&A around kind of exploring, I suppose, the highs, the lows, the learnings from their career. And I'm just wondering if that might be something that might be helpful.
Absolutely. And we'll definitely, how about fireside mentor chats?
Love it.
Every so often. Would that be useful?
Well, I'm happy to be part and participate in that. And I guess, yeah, if other people find it would be helpful, then I'm really happy to, yeah, help facilitate that.
Excellent. Paula, thumbs up. Perfect. See, so we already have one. And yeah, but great. So Sam, let's touch base afterwards and see how we can collaborate on this one. Thank you for that.
Brilliant.
And I absolutely love the artwork. I can't see it, but there's so many behind you. It's brilliant.
It's my project management with post-it notes on my board.
Excellent. Post-it notes, art, it's all to be organized. Excellent. So wonderful. And we'll have these check-ins at each one of our events. What would be useful for you? Because it's a very much two-way street. And if something that comes up, you know, if we're always open to communicate. So there's an email. Simon, what's our email?
Oh God, team at PsychologyAtWork.Blog.
Yeah, so I'm sure we'll pop it in the chat as well. So, you know, if at any point you need to contact us about the mentoring process, if you need any help, if you have any concerns, etc., just pop an email to us. We're also contactable by LinkedIn as well. But just before we go to another breakout session, Matt, did you want to add anything about that side project that was so intriguing, which you previously mentioned?
Yeah, I'd love to. I'll keep it brief because I'm aware we've gone over an hour now, but basically I'm doing a little bit of research on the side of the Emerging Occ Psychs Initiative, and this is basically a call for support if anyone's interested in doing a bit of research. I can tell you a little bit more about it now, but please reach out to me if you're interested in doing a bit of voluntary work to beef up your CV, or do alongside your studies if you're looking for any extracurricular stuff. I'm basically going through job boards and job adverts looking for job descriptions and requirements for roles within the business psychology market. And I'm trying to build together a big database so that I can analyze it and generate some themes and subsequently some personas that employers are looking for within the different categories of business psychology. So I've decided to divide it alongside the same lines as the BPS have in terms of the different categories that you'll be aware of from doing the survey. And I've added 2 extra ones as well, which I don't think are captured in that. So that's human factors and a generalist kind of role, where a role might sit across multiple dimensions of business psychology, as lots of consulting roles do. It's a large piece of research, so I could really do with some support with it. So as I said, if anyone's got a bit of spare time or is extra keen to say beef up their CV, please reach out to me and we can collaborate.
Brilliant. So if anybody wants to volunteer, just let Matt know, and please do connect with us on the connection. So yeah, all right, good people. So thank you so much for being here with us. So what I would, is Hita? Am I pronouncing the name correctly? Are you happy to volunteer? Perfect. So what the last thing that I want to ask you before we kind of go to breakout rooms and we just wrap up, is there anything in particular that you're excited about next 9 months based on our conversation today? If you can just type it in. So from based on everything you've heard today, everything we have discussed. And if you can type it in. Connect and grow in community, learning, mentoring, getting a sponsorship job. Lovely. Well, there's a lot of jobs out there. If anything we can do to help you get one, we'll be more than happy to. Meeting new colleagues, lovely. New connections. And considering there's a bit of a common theme on new connections, let me just go to breakout rooms. Let me go to where is it? Recreate. Let's do a few less because there's a bit less people. Let's do 7 this time. Let's do 6. Great. So I can just recreate. Oh no, just far too many people in one room. Let's space it out. Okay, that should work nicely. Okay, so what we're gonna do, thank you everybody for sharing what you're excited about, and we're very excited working with you, and thank you again everybody for volunteering their time. Now we're just gonna have like a a closing breakout room where it's an ability to reflect, meet a few more of your colleagues, and then we'll just let it run till about 20 past, and then we just close the meeting. We'll come back and close the meeting. Does that sound like a plan? Excellent. So on that note, I just want to thank my wonderful colleagues. And if all you wonderful colleagues would just like to say a couple of words about what you're excited about, starting with no particular order with Simon.
Sure. Thanks, Ardip. Yeah, so I think it's just important to emphasize that the reason we set up this initiative is that we had very little support when we graduated from other people, and that the point we realized when creating this initiative was that isn't from a lack of willingness from potential mentors. It's the lack of a kind of a system or a framework that combines people and uses them to create kind of groups and obviously pairings as well. And now that technology has luckily improved quite a lot in terms of social media and just Zoom chats like this, we've been able to do this. So I just think make the most of this these ability to reach out to this profession, and fingers crossed it will be a long relationship you have with the profession and with the people you're meeting through us in it. So that's my takeaway thought.
Thank you so much. Hardeep.
Sorry, Nikita, the classic on mute. So I am really excited to work with individually and collectively with mentors and mentees. And also I'm just really excited to see where people, where mentees and people that are new into the Occ Psych profession, where they get to, because I think there couldn't be a more exciting time to be part of this profession.
Absolutely, I agree with you. Now, before we're confined to the workplace of the office, and now we're free range because work is from anywhere. So Occ Psych, no boundaries.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Hey, Nikita, we never thought our program was going to be global, did we? So there you go.
We thought we'll have 20 mentors.
Yeah,
that's
was our
max.
COVID output.
Yeah, now we have over 80, which is lovely. So thank you everyone for registering. Thank you, Hardeep. And Eloise, are you there?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm here. Not to selflessly plug the events that we lead on to the research events, but I'm really excited to hear about some of the research that's been being done at MSc level, and yeah, it was really fun last year to do some of these events and find out about some of the areas that people on our program are interested in. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing more of those over the coming year.
Eloise hosts fantastic events. If you can tell us a little bit more, because some people might not know it. Some people might be doing MSc research on this call, something tells me.
Yeah, so I did put a message in the chat. So yeah, so we've been doing a series of events where you can come along. We do ask that you sort of sign up to them to reach out to me, and we'll put together sort of a schedule of who's going to present at each event. You can have 5 to 10 minutes. You can have some slides or a poster, and basically just talk to us about what you're fascinated about and have done your research on. So a little bit of introduction to context, the methods that you used and what you found. So yeah, so if you are interested and didn't indicate on your mentee sign up sheet, there was a box to indicate if you'd like to be contacted. If you didn't, you can reach out to me, and if you did, I'll be reaching out shortly to start scheduling some of the dates. So yeah.
Excellent. And if you need inspiration, we have our previous ones on the YouTube channel, and it's a nice safe place to try to present, to experiment with presenting, and any support we can give you, and even a bit of coaching we're happy to provide, because we believe your research is too fantastic just to be seen by your supervisor and your mom. It should be shared more often. So thank you very much, Eloise. And Matt, what are you excited about, apart from working with volunteers to help the taxonomy of the jobs you can get?
Yeah, I've had a few messages already, so that's great. Thanks for reaching out. Really excited just about the networking side of things. It's really good that such a niche field has a community that we can come to and share ideas and thoughts. It's just a great way to meet people across the various parts of business psychology. I love the events that get put on, the side pubs. If you're in London, make sure to come to one of them because they're always good. And yeah, just meeting new people in the field and finding out a bit more about what other people are getting up to is what excites me most.
Wonderful. Thank you, Matt. And thank you for the plug of PsyPub. Very much appreciated. I'll buy you a pint at the next one for that. Perfect. And David, last but not least.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited about the whole thing. I mean, as Hardeep said, you know, originally we thought we'd only get like 20 people sort of interested. There was like 120, and then the year 2 was the same, and this year is also similar. So yeah, and just to reiterate what Simon Tom said as well. I mean, the reason why we started was that we all felt as though that there wasn't enough done for graduates. I mean, I was a MSc program director for many years, and we didn't get any hours to deal with our alumni. We were all kind of told that you know, that's not our job, that's career services, and actually as an academic it was quite frustrating actually to if I'm brutally honest. So yeah, I'm really pleased about the program and what these guys do.
Excellent. What we all doing. And Amanda had to leave, I think. And also there's another Simon, which didn't make it today. And also we have Karina, who helps out with illustrations, etc. So thank you, everybody. So I'm going to put you all into breakout rooms. Just have a nice 10-minute chat. Then we'll come back for anybody who's left, say goodbye. And then hopefully see you at the next event. So let me just stop sharing, stop recording. And breakout rooms are now open. So see you in 10. Just have a chat, meet some new people.